Recipe rebels and kitchen wizards, welcome to the cook station at home.
I like that.
We have our very, very special guest, Miss Kelly Colacioppo, here today.
Good to be
Also
here.
known throughout Greenville as Kelly Valentine.
Yeah.
Still after 25 years.
Should have kept your name.
Yeah.
And it's only taken me 6 years to learn how to say Colacioppo.
Or spell it.
Or spell it.
Oh, I still can't spell it.
Well, I wouldn't have married him. I thought his last name was Oppo when I first heard years. I didn't know it was going to be other letters to
Part
it.
of the
Oompas.
Oppos, yeah.
They work in a chocolate factory?
Yeah, that's
The Oompas.
Well, we are so excited to have you here, and we are talking the early years of the cook station.
Right.
What it meant being a mom, juggling a growing business.
Now I got to remember that. That's the problem now.
Yes. So we're just excited to have you here.
Well, I'm excited. This is fun.
So how many years have you owned the cook station?
Almost 28. Long time. Long time.
Almost long enough to use like those things where you can say like back in '04, you know, when the
Yeah.
old-timey guys would talk about way back when.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
getting
good one,
close.
John. That's
But it's just funny how like you start thinking about the cook station, owning the cook station since you're almost 17. I mean, although it wasn't the cook station, I mean,
Well, I've been in the business my whole life, but it started with restaurant supply. And it's funny, I remember that still more than I remember what I ordered last week. You know, it's funny how when you're younger, things stick with you, you know?
Yeah.
So, but
And then we're also joined by Miss Reagan Bell Houston.
yay.
And Reagan's been with the cook station for how long?
If you consider all the years.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of times part-time, just come back from summers and Christmas breaks wrapping. Started with wrapping and working register, and then full-time probably 4 years now.
And probably when she was about 4 and 5, because she would come by
Yeah.
the store and say, I'm working with you. That's like, she would stay with
she
me.
would go behind the register and you had to
Yeah.
hold her and she would get to push the
Yeah.
buttons.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Take
She
a couple
loved
bucks
it.
out, you know.
Yeah.
Just start 'em young.
Her sister, not so much, but she loved it.
Yeah.
She always said she was going to be a part.
So Reagan is now our marketing director at the cook stations, among other hats that she wears. So a lot of the buying, and Kelly's cohort at market. So we are excited to have you joining us today, and excited that you're back from maternity leave.
Yeah.
Reagan just had a beautiful little baby girl.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. It's fun to get back into some things.
Oh, and it's been fun for me because I'm getting to watch you and Reagan, and y'all maneuver very well, you know, and it's fun because then I'm like, I remember these days. I remember these days, you know, and then I feel for you, and then I'm worried about you, and then it's, you know, but it's been fun with y'all and watching the kids come.
I love
Is
that
my
too,
favorite.
because I forget about like when we started having kids, we built an office for the kids. We had
Oh,
a bright
goodness.
idea that we were going to have playpens in
Oh,
there,
yeah.
and the kids would come to work with you every day, and that lasted for. We realized that
Oh, a
wasn't gonna-
disaster.
that
It was a
total
disaster. Because it would be just me in there, and then I would run out to wait on somebody, and I remember one lady going, I keep hearing a baby. I'm like, oh, you're fine. This fine.
TV.
And Nicholas is in there screaming, and I'm like, okay,
Um,
he's all right. He's in a playpen.
That was hard.
Oh, it was so bad. I was so determined I had to find a place for him. I met a lady in a little gas station, came home, and she told me where her kids went because you couldn't get in anywhere like y'all are experiencing now. And she was a sweet lady that had her own little daycare. Told John I found a place. I thought he was going to lose his mind. He goes, we are not going to a place where somebody's got
She vetted somebody in a
Yeah.
Sphinx gas station. And I was like, just because she was checking you out in front of you doesn't mean that we're going to send that kids out somewhere. But that's what you had. I mean,
Yeah,
we were determined
guess
to work,
what?
and that's what you had to do.
She went, yes, it did. And she was great, you know, but then
Oh, so you did send your kids there?
Hell yeah, we had no
Miss
choice.
Olivia,
She did. They went to Greenville Tech.
well, they did, but Nicholas couldn't get into his too till John started adjunct teaching so that he could finally get him in there, and then Anna could come straight in once. But he had to work.
We had to wait,
He
yeah.
had to work his job, and then he adjunct taught every night Just, oh, well, not every night, I'm exaggerating. But you taught every week
Yeah.
to be able to send them there.
But that was kind of weird because it's funny when you have the business, you have, and then life comes,
Yeah.
be it a kid or something. Like, the business doesn't stop. I mean, we
No.
couldn't just hang a gone fishing sign out there. We were like all of a sudden like, oh, we got 9 months to figure out how you could be back to work in 6 weeks because it was just you and
Yeah.
Kimberly, and it was
That
just
was it.
there was just 2 people in the whole store.
Wow.
So it wasn't like you could just take 6,
No. No. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Thought you were gonna have you could have had the kid right there in the Lake Crusade section.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dust them off.
You know what we should have done with the babies
Let 'em
is
start-
the newborn photo shoot in a Le Creuset
In
pot.
the Dutch oven, the goose pot.
All right,
Next
next
baby, your
one.
next baby.
Your next one's going to
Probably
the
squeeze them in,
Yeah, yeah.
Tiny stuff.
Instead of the pumpkin pictures around the holidays, we'll just put them in an orange Le Creuset pot.
I think that's
Give
brilliant.
them a sharp knife to hold.
Spaghetti on the head.
Yes. Oh my God.
Remember
yes.
that picture?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
That was normal.
Yeah. There was that
They
picture.
bring in the pasta.
Yeah,
And you would just put the kid. You put the kid in there. You just do all that kind of stuff.
Is that like a smash cake picture or something?
that was old school. That's fine.
They had all these really campy, kind of stupid kids pictures, and like the ones you would see in Target.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, and they were everywhere. In fact,
Was it Sears or
You mean JCPenney?
JCPenney's, that's right.
And the kid would be sitting in there, like you just have like spaghetti on him or some crap like that. But it's funny over in my kid Anderson goes to Anderson University, and Mama Pins.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
They have that.
They had that picture of the kids in kids in the thing in the back, and I was like, yeah, just remind me what it's. Yeah,
Yes.
they had those old JCPenney pictures. Kind of cracked me up.
Well, so Kelly, you grew up in Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
Your father was in the restaurant supply business, and then at some point you decided or were pushed into
Yeah.
doing your own type of business. Tell us more about that.
Well, it was downtown, West End. Nobody would go to the West End, And then I was working and I did like the restaurant business, but there was no women in the restaurant business whatsoever, in the restaurant supply. Let me explain. So, and he sent me out and I would call on people and in the back doors of these restaurants. And mind you, nobody of them still living, I think, but like they were great to me. But my dad and I couldn't get along with him. I loved him, but I couldn't get along with him. And he had the rent on the building that I eventually went in. And I said, I'm going to open up my own thing. But he was still my partner for a little while, because he had to deliver the appliances. Plus, it was very hard having the mixture of a restaurant supply and a gadget type, a kitchen store, where he had appliances like that. Because it's just such two different. You think they're the same, but they're not the same.
Because it ran as a division of Valentine
It
for
was a
2
division
years, didn't it?
Oh, for years.
And even before that, I remember seeing
Oh.
old pictures of in Valentine restaurant equipment. They had that one section that had residential stuff
For
within
years.
the restaurant supply store.
Because
Didn't
my dad was trying to separate himself from his dad, so he said, we're adding this on. And nobody would do it then. Nobody would add on a high-end appliance. It was, I think it was Viking that was his first. It was before me. Or it could have been a true commercial. I think Grange.
Yeah,
It's an old, it was an old true commercial company. And then they started making one. Even Wolf, that started from a commercial company.
you could still see it,
And they-
like if you go to a
Yeah,
place, you
it
can
doesn't
still see
look the
commercial
same,
wall.
but they started putting insulation in it and calling it residential, and they've been in a lot of places. So he started because nobody would sell it, so.
And your dad would kind of, in a weird way, I mean, they used to have like microwaves. They would have like you had a microwave at a microwave store.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
that whole weird kind of idea of blending high-end appliances with residential stuff was kind of weird.
It was weird. Nobody would do it.
Yeah.
None of the other appliance companies. We were the first one to put high-end appliances in. They were commercial looking.
That would
Okay, commercial looking. But now the other parts for people coming in to buy, it's been really neat because we're still getting customers. Like I had an older lady the other day and she goes, I only buy from your dad, so and that still is starting to generate, but there's a lot of people still that we get.
Remember the Valentine name.
Yeah, they would only buy from, because it was really the only place
It wasn't
that
a
you
lot
could do that. It wasn't pretty stuff, but it was really good stuff. big pans, knives, and that was one of the only places you could go get it. And thank goodness everybody's still following us along. Their kids are following with us.
But you even start thinking about that now. Like when we got married, you went to Belk's to register. And you did that kind of stuff. And
My mom still went to Belk's no matter what. Till the day she died.
But you couldn't get like a big pot or a cast iron. Like they didn't,
They had little bits of it. But not the heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. And it was funny when I opened up, that was kind of the thing. I thought I would take over more of the commercial stuff. And people still do like it, but I think the visual of it once I moved didn't work as well for them.
Yeah, it softened it up.
That they wanted something a little bit prettier.
Time up.
We're out of time. Thank you. We have to wrap this up right fast. Sorry. We're all going to talk to Vinny now.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
Yeah.
There's nothing difficult there.
I think it was really fun. It's always interesting to see what's happening in Vinny World.
Every day something
You
new.
know what's funny? I think about it too. There was some stuff we bought from Valentine.
Oh, a lot of times.
All the tailor-made candy thermometers, because there wasn't like they didn't.
Tailcraft, which now has
Yeah,
a division.
they didn't have a thing for residential stuff. So yeah, you had you kind of had your feet in both worlds there for the first couple of years too.
So when did you lean into really the cook station? Like when did that name come on? When did you change the business? Oh, so I guess was it Valentine?
It was the cook station.
Okay, it was.
We came out with that because that building was an old gas station.
Okay.
So just trying to come up with a name. If I had to do it over again, because people go, "Why'd you name it the cook station?" Really, that was it. It wasn't an old gas station.
Okay.
I think
I didn't know that, honestly.
Yeah, I think we put. The story behind that building is great, and I hope Sphinx have done a great job in that market. And they've put the story of. They did a lot of research, and it's above one of the coolers. So I appreciate that so much because there was a special lady here that Allison knows, and I know that really helped all of us. That actually owns that owned the building, but it kind of had the story how it came. It was the first car dealership, then a gas station, and then my dad had rented it out because it was so bad down there to use cleaned used equipment for years. That's all they did. People would drive through the building accidentally. All the trunks going down.
Yeah, because that curve right where Augusta Street and Main Street wasn't that way it is now. It kind of cut across where Smoke on the Water's patio used to be.
Yep.
And it was
And
this
they would
weird
just
little.
drive right through the door. I mean, it was very interesting down there. And then the Army Navy store, that was the best place. And then actually we have Bruce now that's working with us. He was the bravest one. He went besides the Army Navy store when the market first opened next door. He was the true original. I always think it's me, but it's not. It was him by about a year.
Yeah, because Bruce's place was there, and then Johann's.
Yeah, and then Smoke on the Water.
In that thing, that's right. And there was nothing down there.
No,
that was weird.
Which is always funny that if it wasn't for the Army Navy store and them, I mean, we would have been in danger zone, because it was. And Allison opened up Kudzu. There was another place, Emporium, and everybody kind of would move our cars so that people could see some movement going on there. And Officer Sims, remember him?
And Ed Wells, Officer Wells.
They would come check on us every day, walk us over to Miss McBee's that was across the street to get something to eat. It was a whole different world. It was.
Wow.
It was really cool because Mr. Sims and Mr. Wells, they were huge dudes.
Ginormous.
Yeah, they were huge guys, and they were like it was like the neighborhood beat, and they would just walk in, and they would kind of just hang out with you, and they had all Augusta Road because they went all the way up to where Albies was.
Well, in the city, I mean, they were really starting to try to do the market, and the concept, I swear, would have been to this. If today they could have done what they tried to do because they had all these shops on the bottom of that Omar. If they would have kept that but it was just the concept was. They tried to copy it off of Seattle, the marketplace, and it was just way before its time. Mm-hmm. And they would have Thursday Night Lives kind of were down there. I mean, we really did have
jazz.
a community.
They had the jazz place started. All that Thursday night stuff started in the West End.
Yeah,
the jazz.
Or some of it. There was still two, but it was interesting. We always laugh though. Sometimes between trying to make all that work, I still think. It's a blessing that I'm still here because there was no traffic. There was no. I just think, wow.
I remember I wasn't working with Kelly, but Kelly came home just in tears because there was where the baseball stadium was a lumber yard, and she was just in tears. They said, "Oh my God, they're gonna knock down the bridge, the Camperdown Bridge." That was the only way to really get to the West End unless you went down Main Street.
Fast.
Yeah, fast. So you'd go down Church Street and you'd get off, and they're gonna knock down the bridge and they're gonna do all this stuff. And the West End fought it for a little while.
Yeah, we had
We
a
were like-
community that fought it.
We
That's
thought we were
kind
gonna
of
die.
embarrassing now. That's
Yeah, I kind of missed that one. But, maybe I wasn't. But I remember thinking, well, that's the end. There's nothing going to happen in the West End after this, after they knock that bridge
And
down.
the minute that bridge opened, you started seeing flow. I mean, I'm talking the minute it opened.
Yeah.
And then it was the same thing. The West End, our little group fought people trying to buy where the ballpark is now. But that was a good thing to fight
The
some of that
ballpark,
stuff.
yeah.
Because the ballpark came, that was the right thing. Nobody
Yeah.
fought it. And that, when you weren't the end anymore, is when finally people started coming up this way. Because there was no reason to come up there.
It was so funny because when the ballpark came, it was Pendleton Street once you passed the Army Navy store,
Yeah.
which had kind of it wasn't Main Street anymore.
No,
And
and
so
it had a
pe-
name.
it had
it wasn't so good.
But it was, it's just so for those businesses to say that I'm on Main Street meant a lot more than, on Pendleton Street. People live on, so, that was able to shutter all that stuff through too. So that's kind of cool.
Well, speaking of, we've got the ladies here today, and we let the gentlemen still attend. But
We got nothing else to do.
the really interesting part about the cook station, which if you've come to visit us, you probably can see, but we're predominantly women. No, it is a women-owned business, and predominantly female run
Big hen
in the
house.
day-to-day.
Thank God, though.
I mean,
Oh,
we're
that's what I'm
just
saying.
trying to get
Thank
you
God.
guys out one by one.
Oh, my
No.
God. Thank God.
Surprised I'm still around.
Yeah.
But you know what the funny part is? The great state of South Carolina, and if you're listening, great state of South Carolina, I'm still mad at you for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put me through a lot.
And they denied Kelly to be a woman-owned business.
Because my dad was a part of it
Because
at one time and
it-
hadn't even been for like
Yeah.
40 years.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it
And
was
they put me in front of this big group and they
we got
was
hauled down to
horrifying.
Columbia.
Yes, it was.
It was the worst
explain this.
Did they
experience.
grill you?
Yeah,
So-
no, the guy that came
No, would you have gotten like a?
why to do it?
Yes, was it like a tax break or something? Like,
Not really a tax break, but to bid on jobs, certain jobs, and that kind of thing.
I get it.
It would have maybe helped us, and it may not. But it was just kind of really.
And it was a sense of pride.
It was
you
pride.
know, it was just one of these
well, now all
things.
you have to do is click it on Google that you're a woman in business.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Probably.
Yeah.
And it was like what? It was a year we went through that
Went
process,
through process after process,
giving
had to meet.
paperwork and all this other kind of stuff.
And I love our state, but that
Yeah,
was hard.
That was the weirdest experience. But it was so funny. Even without that disclaimer, I am so glad. Thank God that it's 90% women running that business, or else I don't think we would have been half as successful as we were. Because if you would have listened to me and Vinny, the place would have been
I
on
don't know
fire.
about
The place would still be burning right now.
You came in and helped do a lot.
So when did John come on board in the business?
Okay, so we just had I had Nicholas, and then I was pregnant with Anna, and it was
Scary.
scary because times were bad. Gosh, because we hadn't gone through 08 yet. had
No, it
we?
was 2005.
Yeah, so we hadn't even gone through.
It was so funny because you had Y2K, which scared the hell out of everybody. And then, 9/11, in 2001. So we kept on having these weird things happen that kept on tanking sales.
Because he was a construction engineer, and it was so funny me trying, because I would have to stay on. If Nicholas was sick, something, he would go, my job is more important. Well, it was paying the bills, no lie. So for him to all of a sudden come in one day and say, I've quit, we're going to make this work, But it was,
That sounds like a John thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird because all of a sudden now you have a business that we couldn't, that was rolling. That it's so hard to to stop that from going. We had
had a
bank
lot of bills
loans,
to pay,
we had bills to pay. And if they came to me and said, there's a hospital in Columbia or something, I had to go. You know, and then, you know, there was no one that watched the kids. There was no one, you know, if you're pouring concrete, that's the thing. And so it just got to the point we were like, you know, what do you do?
Yeah.
So we.
And thank goodness we did, and we've liked working together 80% of the time. That's like
It does only very well.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Really
funny.
do.
We were separated by a city block for a while,
Yeah.
which helped. I was in a whole different building, and now I'm a whole different floor.
Right.
And so.
Well, and John's good during like in 08. He's really good at maneuvering when things are going really bad. You know, like I always laugh. He seems to be grumpy when they're going good and really good, but he likes a war, he said. So he likes to fight.
The Italian in me.
battles.
I like to yell and walk around and complain.
That's all.
Right, so you came on in 2005-ish.
Was it fun? No, it was later than that. Maybe.
Well, because
When was Anna born?
no, because Anna, it was before then, because Anna was born in 05.
Was it?
Yeah, and we were just getting ready to have her, so it was right there,
Yeah.
04, 05.
Okay. So
Such a long
22
memory.
years working together,
Yeah,
and y'all are still married.
yeah. That's not, yeah. We,
That's something to be proud of in itself. Not even.
but you know, it's funny that we don't leave it because we're always talking about it. For dinner, we're talking about it. For that, but we
Damn that,
laugh
Vinny.
because it gave us something to talk
That was about
about.
me.
Yeah.
Our relationship is kind of cool because we always have something to talk about. You know, whether people say, "Don't you get tired of it?" And I was like, "Sometimes," but we just say, "All right, I've had enough."
I will say we do a very, very good job of there is a line of demarcation of which I do not cross. And I know my place, and I'm happy to say this is
Did
my
you hear
place.
that? That's
So I just, you know, I don't mess with any of that stuff, and I know you're my boss, so I just kind of listen. I'll complain.
That's the most
moan and
important
groan.
part. When my husband realized that I was the boss in our house,
I could
it
either
was
be
just smooth sailing ever since then.
I could either be happy or I could be right. And
Just keep our
I
mouths
really
shut.
don't care about being right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, happy is a lot better than being right. So, yeah, what do I really care? Just tell me when to show up and what to do. Oh, there's a podcast? Yeah, okay, I'll show up. All right.
Oh.
I gotta take a
Yeah.
shower? All right, I'll
Yeah.
do that.
I think you're taking that a little bit too far. Yeah.
I gotta wear a shirt doing it? Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I also think, you know, it's really, really cool because I have no skill set when it comes to what you do on the retail side. I've never worked retail. And on our appliance things, it's kind of construction-y, which, you know, I did. And you've never worked for anybody other than your dad.
That was
And then I at least worked for, I was in an industry with, Halliburton and Manhattan construction and places that did those
we're
kind
cutting
of
up
things.
about that, but that brings a lot. Vinny, you working for big places brings a lot.
Mhm.
I never had that. School worked for my dad.
And it's so
Dad
funny.
only worked for like
Yeah, your dad only worked for his dad.
dad. And so it's really nice. And the one thing I learned in school, you hire people that's a lot smarter than you. That's like who knows?
Yeah, you
A
gotta
big
go
thing.
that
Don't sell
way.
yourself short there, buddy.
Yeah, that's like it's.
So, in the time you were in the old building, and some of our new customers may not know that we moved 6 years ago from
6 years.
Almost, yeah.
In
Almost.
COVID.
Yeah,
Even in
COVID.
COVID.
it was right at the Main Street Augusta Road intersection, and y'all had one gadget store, and then right across the street was an appliance building. So,
Which we would
But
walk.
and I was so confused when I was like, what? Wait, didn't we just pass a cook station? What's this cook station? I didn't know what the difference was, but the appliances were in one area where John was, and then Kelly was in the other.
It was funny when I first went to work for Kelly. Everything was in the 4,000 square foot store,
Okay.
and we didn't really. It was funny. We were more of an appliance store than a gadget store at that point when I first
Right.
came to work for you. And then as the gadgets started getting more and more, and we started doing cooking classes, I got kicked out. But was lucky enough in the West End.
There's a lot of
There was a lot of
retail
free
space.
buildings.
Yeah.
And, I was in the old Valentine building.
Okay.
So that location, 26 Augusta, was where Valentine Equipment was. So,
Which helped a little bit if you had been here a long time because people still kind of related us. That was a hard thing to separate because up until a few years ago, we still got people coming in going, but I need a refrigerator for my church, or I need, that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so hard to do that.
Yeah, we used to have people just walk in there thinking, "Doesn't this a restaurant supply?" I'm like, "Yeah, I need a dishwasher." I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, come over with this one.
So, what did you learn about yourself during those years as a working mom? What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced, or?
I'm not kidding. It is hard to remember, and I don't know if y'all are in this state. You almost forget that. Like I called in this house like I was in a fishbowl. I'd come home and stare out the window because I just learned how to fight through it, And my kids, they learned that they had to come in with me no matter what. Now, I hope that helped them learn, different things.
I still have a little guilt in the fact that our busy season is Christmas.
Yeah.
My kid's 24 years old, and every Christmas we're working 70 hours. And, and you just fit in when you can.
Or to make it worse, he was born July 12th. That means that was market time. And he would, up until a few years ago, now he doesn't care because he wants to do his own thing. But he would say, "Miss Market." And I was like, "I can't," because that was market comes on his birthday. He goes, "Well, you did one time.
Yeah, when I was born, you missed it. You didn't have birthday.
It was always hard trying to make up at Christmas. That's why I am so funny when I look at everybody and say, okay, the only day I have to have off during Christmas is the day after, because we kind of just always tried to make that.
And every holiday in retail, the 4th of July, if we didn't start doing the party at the store.
Yeah, we did that.
We had to recruit our friends to come to the store.
Yeah.
And because, you were open. You had to be open.
At that time we did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was always kind of hard with kids.
Yeah. So, but you just learned you could do it. You just.
And you know what? Watching your youngest is at Anderson right now, and then Nick works in the business, so you'll get to work with them every day, which is really interesting. But Anna comes back every holiday when she's not too busy for us.
Exactly. That's not she.
And it's funny watching, or kind of being from the back, watching Anna and Nick, and their work ethic, which y'all have clearly instilled in them. But Anna enjoys being there during the holidays. It seems like, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here." And then, but they're like wanting to take care of you guys too and make sure y'all are good. But you can tell it's a family affair, which I think is why it makes all of us enjoy being there more and want to make the business grow too, because y'all made us all family.
That's been my main thing. I have loved watching everybody, all the kids come through from high school to college, to the ones that stayed and then the ones that came along. This is that's my favorite thing. As y'all all see, they still all come back. They want to say hey and hug us and do all that. But that's been my favorite thing, because once you're Cook Station family, you always a Cook Station.
And it's funny because Heather. She does our HR, and Heather's worked with us since she was
a boomerang. She leaves and comes.
So we have a girl, her name's Heather, and she started with us.
She was out of college, but not by far.
Yeah, but it had to have been 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Somewhere there, which she would kind of come. She would work a little bit. Then she was a work missionary. And she was a teacher. She did some stuff overseas. Then she would come back. Reagan worked with us as a young kid. It's funny. We have a lot of that. Yeah. I love seeing you have two.
Yes.
You have an. I love seeing
fun.
the kids come back. We have another pregnancy in our.
Yep.
Tyler does a wedding registry. She just found out she was pregnant.
Yeah, and her husband works for you.
And and Anthony does that delivery installation stuff.
We have Elizabeth with her 2 girls.
Elizabeth has 2 girls. Mary has grandkids. Yeah. Even that part, I love having that idea of family.
I think it's funny. I was the first one pregnant at the Cook Station since Kelly was.
Yes.
With Anna. Right. So I felt like when I was pregnant with Windsor, it was like unknown territory. We didn't have the kids section at the Cook Station then. Yeah. We didn't have all this, but then, Mary's started having grandkids. Elizabeth already had her kids, but
they were young.
Yeah.
So they just started.
But now it's now I feel like it's a lot more of the youth and the baby. It was like bizarre to see me toting my baby and have her strapped to me half the day when I was running around. But
it's great. I love
it. So now it's just a normal expected thing and everyone loves having the babies around. But it's just funny. And
especially
3 years, how different it is.
I buy them off. That's
Turn it into favorite.
Cookies. I want to make
But, that gets back to that idea, a women-run business, they just handle stuff so much better. Every working mom, I mean, not even just here, your mom, your mom, the hours she worked, still does. Just the idea of how much better women are when it comes to managing multiple things at one time, and I'm just blown away. Valerie, she's my number 2 over there in the appliance. If Valerie wasn't there, I would just spin totally out of control. I get so focused, and she's so able to do so many. But she's a mom that worked her whole life too.
I think we maneuver quick. And I know y'all laugh at me and say, stop saying that, because I maneuver probably too quick and it doesn't always make sense. But that's why these two keep me in the right line. And I do think we can change.
And that's what's hard for like Vinny and I. I don't know if you feel this too, but it gets to the point where I'm not using the word nag, but I'm like, oh my God, really? It's just, Valerie will remind me 7 or 8 times, and I'll get so mad that Valerie reminds me 7 or 8 times, and then I'm like,
well, clearly you needed it. If you hadn't done it in the 7th or 8th time.
Then I'm like, thank God Valerie told me for the 7th or 8th time. And it's so funny. Even like before we started this, Reagan's like, okay, Vinny, we need, I'm out of cheese, we need this, we need, oh God, just tell me what I need to do.
Or if something's broken, he's in charge, but you don't want to tell him on a bad day. You have to tell him on the right day. So we're all like, okay, time, go, maneuver, like in, tell him.
Oh, goodness.
But it's gotten to the point now when we start hiring in the appliance thing, looking for moms, looking for women only.
Which is really interesting because I feel like a lot of I know that we are not corporate, but we are growing. I mean, how many employees do we have now?
If you consider all the part-time
paychecks,
there's a lot of. I bet there's close to. Is it that many? I thought it was just a little over 50. I think there's like.
I mean, with part-time people that kind of come, gift wrappers and things like that.
That's the hard part. Some.
Some are in and out. Some are seasonal.
Well, so we're not a big corporate franchise business. It's family owned and small, but most companies don't necessarily look down on moms, but it's like, well, they have a kid, do we really want to hire them? And you guys truly, I feel like, have taken the other side of it, and see the positives for work, moms that are working and how we can pivot and are adjusting. But you've truly taken on the family first mentality when it comes to it. Like when my children are sick, it's not like, I mean, I stress myself out no matter what, but it's not a question of like, can I leave work to go get my sick child? It's go 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I had a 2.5-month-old. My husband was out of town for the first time, and she got a stomach bug, and I mean, it was awful. Like, for a 2.5-month-old, she was sick, and so
and the dog.
And the dog. I mean, I was on maternity leave, so I wasn't even there. I hadn't even been working for you that long. And Kelly showed up at my front door and said, give me your keys, get in the back seat. You can't drive a sick baby. She drove me to the doctor's. Then the doctor said, you got to go to the emergency room. Then she's like, all right, come on. She went in there, was picking stuff up, cleaning. Then my dogs got sick on the floor. I'm telling you. And she's on her hands and knees cleaning it up and then driving me to the emergency room.
And then both thought we were breaking in your house because we got
But I'm just saying, it's things like that make a difference in the day-to-day business. But I think that compassion that you show your employees, you also show all your customers every single day.
That is, I love our customers. 90% of the time, I can't always make everybody happy, but that is what I shoot for. Like trying to make them happy.
Because it's so funny how much
stories.
And how much comes back to you. I mean, that little bit of effort, I never question, folks, hey, you're home, go get you sick, go home, take care of your kid. And then you notice, I got emails all the way up to 12:30 at night, And it's so funny, that little, it seems like it's a big thing, but you guys are always so respectful as far as giving
Oh,
back that way. So it's easy to make those things. Plus, we're based on family
Yeah,
first.
we love y'all. Y'all are
Yeah.
family. So that's it's been kind of fun, like talking about women, but it's been nice. I mean, too, now we've hired some, I love this age, and they're like, we've all all of us that are in our 50s. We're not going to say which part, upper, lower. And then we've got everybody ages. It's a good thing. But it's been really good.
We had what, from 80-year-old to 15. I mean, Kat's what, 15?
Yeah,
Or
16.
16.
Yeah, just turned 16. So
We had a 120-year-old, but Frank left.
Yeah.
I had to tease
We
him.
have Papa Jack.
We do have Papa Jack.
Yes.
We got Papa Jack. We've got several. But it's nice when I listen to the 50-somethings, like, especially that group, because we still kind of remember the kid age, you know, and Wendy's a good one because she'll like, have them to go, we'll do that. Like, you know, like it's been fun having to do it because we know what that's like. And now we're actually making sure we stay busy, you know, because you've come down off the kid thing. Now you're trying to stay busy.
So tell us, I guess, a little bit about when y'all did move from the old store and y'all had the opportunity to grow into our new business or our new building, excuse me. Tell us a little bit about that opportunity and during COVID, it was also hit. So I guess tell a little bit more about that transition.
Well, we started it, and of course, you know, way before COVID started, we worked on it several years because Steve Spinks came to us and they were looking to have a place with the sign on Main Street, you know, and then we started kind of working that together, maybe do Spinks in the cook station. Then we needed more room, you know, like it just kind of, it was fun learning each other's businesses and learning what to do. And they actually had that property. So we knew we could get everything. It just kept rolling into, well, let's do a restaurant in it. Well, we got to have a separate room for cook classes.
Yeah. So you're saying that, so the new cook station where we're at now, 515 Buncombe, that was, the Spinks already had that property and it was an old restaurant, Jean's.
Well, where we all park. So this place was, it was an old call center which really makes it neat because your dad knew that for cotton and her dad knew it from classification. You know, it's just funny how all this went on. And it was not an easy build because there's 4 different zones on there and all, but the city was really nice. And Steve helped, like it was just it would just seem to be, it was coming into play, you know.
And we kind of needed to get off Main Street.
We did, because he's going to walk down the street with a Lakers pot or a refrigerator, or if you're wanting to come for an appointment, you couldn't pull up and park.
You couldn't have the education kitchen because, you know, where are you going to park for that?
We would move everything out of that front and that'll start. And I did love, having that platform. There was something to be said about being there, but then it's funny because I thought I was going to miss it, but I haven't missed it. I love being able to come and park. And, you know, now our biggest problem is we've outgrown it. Thanks to all of y'all. Growing each of the parts.
We joke to take the roof off and keep going up.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe we've outgrown it, you know, like we have. And now the maneuvering is, you know, how to park. And thanks to everybody, we're park on the street, do this. And
The neighborhood is
unbelievable
great.
neighborhood.
Yes.
I love the Hampton Pickney folks.
Yes.
They just really kind of help out.
So you said, you know, the hardest part's figuring out, but really when it comes to owning the business now, and I know it can change depending on the day, the minute, the month, the year, but what really keeps you up at night? Like, what's your biggest hurdle with the business now?
You know, it's just the true business aspect. I love sales. I could just stay on the floor all day and I eat that stuff up. But to come back and look at financials, I shouldn't say that. But to look at that and then try to say, okay, I got this many people to pay. How am I going to do this? You know, we had a bad day today. I'm just throwing that out. We did not have a bad day today. But, you know, if you have a bad day, how are we going to pay for we had an ice storm and a snowstorm all in the same month and had to close down on the weekend. You don't make that up. So how do we make sure everybody's getting paid? That's the part that keeps me up. The maneuvering of what we're going to sell or what, you know, or if something goes wrong or where we're going to put product, you know what, we'll figure that out. You know, we're never going to be, you know, one of the other big people that they say, but I don't want to be. I don't want to look stale. I don't want to look, I want to look like the cook station, that we're putting stuff together and we're doing that. But paying the bills is always a big one, and the growth, because I want it to be here for everybody from now on, and thank goodness now my kids are going, and I don't have them coming home at night to worry about them, or I don't have that. So we can sit there and try to figure it out. I won't lie. It kept me up. As a lot of y'all know, we had Frank for so long. Now, that was hard. He just, at 20 years, you learn, I could not even have to worry about how certain things were going to go. Was it exactly like it? Not always, or what? Right. But everybody knew his face. So that kept me awake the last 3 weeks. But now, it's coming together. We're figuring that part out.
You hear that, Frank?
Yeah. We love you, Frank.
But I don't know if you feel this way, but do you feel like, I feel like we have a callous now in the fact that we know every 3 or 4 years some weird junk's going to happen.
You do.
There's going to be the stuff that used to really scare me and keep me up at night. I'm like, it's just the same old. We've seen this 17 times in 30
ways.
years. Not that Frank leaving was bad, mainly because he was a friend and part of the the family. But key people leaving, hiring new key people. These are songs that we've heard forever. But so it doesn't worry me as much. I still get worried.
Well, yeah, you get worried, and things change daily. Like I never thought purchasing would change as much as it has. Wow, COVID really changed all of that, and how to figure out how to not let us get behind. Technology. How can we afford not to get behind? How can we get y'all a cooler in the kitchen? It's amazing when things have tripled in price, and it's
especially when you go from you were handwriting tickets when I came to work for you. You hand wrote tickets, and everything was based on feel, and a lot of businesses are always behind the 8 ball when it comes to technology, but small businesses. And that stuff's changed. When we first started, it didn't change as rapidly as it does now. You're already behind, and it's changed 3 more times. Like, God dang, I can't.
And we grew to where,
and then you're growing.
You don't have time to look, or you don't have time. To fix things, but that is where somebody's always looking after us. We start finding people. People come to work. Well, I help do this, or I help do that. And so we're having to give everything we've been thrown at.
I think that's what you do so well. You have a gut feel. Like I got mad at Vinny. We went to breakfast the other day. I got mad at Vinny because Vinny is like, I need to see now. I'm like, well, yeah, numbers and all that stuff is really, really cool. But a lot of times it's like the Monday morning quarterback. It just tells you what happened the last couple of months. You still have to have this weird feel, and you still have to go out there and say, all right, observe and make up and take chances. And I think that's what's so good about you. Like, we can try this. I don't know if it's going to work. If it doesn't, we'll go back.
To realize.
But it always works out in your favor.
If it don't work, you go on. Everyone wants that, we don't have the technology, instant feedback with stuff. And sometimes it's
not yet.
It's got to be a gut feeling.
We are trying.
But that's one thing that I've always enjoyed about coming on board once I think became comfortable enough realizing that you guys, for the most part, are truly okay. It's like, hey, if you feel like this is the right move for your department or for the business, whatever, do it. And if it doesn't work, we'll do something else.
We can change
so pivoting is easy, and it's just, it's not always easy, but it's always an option. So I love that it's never black and white. You have to, you can't do this. You'll really leave it to us for trusting our intuitions, which is, a woman's intuition is always.
It's funny. It really is. And it's so funny because I think a lot of guys don't have, we want to have a plan and somebody has to give us. You guys are really, really good at saying, I don't think this, let's try this and just go on and at least get off go. Sometimes
everything comes at you. Every kind of shop tries to open up. You get big daddies moving here. But like I said, I'm just always hoping and praying. I love family owned. I love, trying to,
So what do you love the most about owning the store right now? What's your favorite part of it? your day to day when you're coming in? What's your favorite part of your day at the store?
People. I love coming in saying hey to y'all in the morning. I love, I love treat this out now. This probably being a little slack, but I love going first thing, getting my coffee, saying hey to everybody in the kitchen, going around saying hey, and then getting the day started and seeing new customers coming in this morning. We had all kind of new customers coming in, and it was fun getting them to see where they're from, what to do. That's my favorite things. Till I know I have to go downstairs and do paperwork. And then that's
Hide in the basement.
hot in the basement. Yeah.
But it's funny, I've learned that from you, and I used to not think it was important. Now I realize how important that is. And it's the idea of just everyone has value, and you go in and you get to learn everyone's name and make sure everyone's doing okay, and see about
We had this morning, Kyle was like, let me show you what all this stuff I did. But it was fun, and we got to see, and then we got to see, and he doesn't care, like, let's change this, or let's do this. So it's that part's fun.
Displays and changing it up, see what works, not just.
All right. So like you've said, still family business. But I mean, I'm sure y'all have had people come to y'all talking about franchising, or, all of my friends that live in different cities that come here. It's like, oh my gosh, why don't we all have one in Charleston, or why not in Columbia? Like, oh my gosh, this would do incredible in Atlanta. So why have y'all decided not to do that?
Well, one, this is all I can manage.
we don't have the skill set and the technology.
I'm just going to not lie to you on that. But some of it too is I just know this market. So the thought of not really knowing another market, but one day maybe, but I got to know people. Like, I got to know who's around me. If I went into another market, which, maybe we will one day. I don't have any plans on it, but maybe we do. But it would have to be, we have a good team going. They have to learn who's around them. Like that. That's important.
Yeah, the different products would sell better in different spots. Maybe
Absolutely.
they would not be as popular.
It couldn't be a one-all buying like it is. It would have to be individual for each location. But I always, I always joke about what would Kelly do? I feel like Kelly is just the center of the cook station. So for me, when people have asked, I'm like, well, Kelly can't be in every location. So that's why we could, that's why they haven't, because we may not be able to beat Amazon prices sometimes or things like that, but we've got Kelly she might not remember your name, but she's going to remember about your dog.
Don't tell her secrets.
I'm saying, but she's going to remember what you bought, or the dog's name, or where your kid went to school, and she's going to remember everyone's face that ever walked in. And that's a quality you truly can't teach in anybody. You just have to naturally have that. And that's what Kelly has. And that's what I think has just kept this business going and growing. And my other thing is, I think that Kelly's superpower is finding people to work for her that love her business like it's their own, and love everyone, they love her like their family. So it's people just really want to keep working for you and want to make you proud.
Well, and I love that, because I love that. Not just because I love y'all. That's my whole thing. That's why I get up and go to work, because
Even businesses, even Greenville businesses, it's funny. I'm going to say the name, although I remember Postcards of Paris. They had a good thing. They were in the West End. They were our neighbors. And just the simple move of going out to Woodruff Road, those are the things that you kind of you can sink a business. In fact, they didn't know the people out there, and it's so funny. You think, oh, I'm a designer, I can do this anywhere. That's a whole different feel. And, it's something to be said for, sticking to the people, serving the people, because I think Reagan's right. I mean, you can go, our whole buying scheme might not work in Greer.
Yeah.
You go to Greer, it just might not even be the same. And you're like, dang.
Or if you go far, like Charlotte, there's a
whole
couple of our
different
reps.
group.
Please come to Charlotte.
That's all they ever talk about.
Y'all would do so good in Charlotte, but we're like,
How you know the
anything about the
neighborhoods?
people in Charlotte
Yeah.
and what they're looking for, and
then, I think the cook station works now well in the new place. We love that every part plays off. The cooking classes, they sell a heck of a lot after the cooking classes. That plays off that. The cafe, people come to eat, they need that gift. The appliances, y'all send people down, and then we've got the pots and pans ready for them. We can outfit the whole kitchen, but the whole vibe, and it's really, I love that it can start playing off each other. I mean, and I love the people. A lot of the appliance people, they stay customers of ours.
Oh yeah.
We've got some that's been customers since we've opened that we saw
I even like when
appliances
we-
from Valentine.
Well, we'll lose a job, and they had to go there buy their appliances somewhere else, and then you still see them in the store.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we have
And
some
they're
of
good
those customers
customers.
they're there all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
I
don't
think
know.
they feel worse when they do.
A little guilt. We guilted them into it.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't buy appliances for me. We're going to buy enough in pots and pans to make it up.
And
Well-
Greenville being home,
Yeah.
this has been your home for how many years? Physically, where we're at.
24.
So y'all been in here for 24 years. And y'all can see from the cameras, we are in a beautifully outfitted kitchen. But I hear it wasn't always this way.
No. In fact, the floors were falling in, and I never had anything but a cooktop that was half broken off one.
So it's so
one-
funny.
No.
Every appliance we had, and you got to remember. So I quit my job that was paying the bills to go to work for Kelly. We didn't pay ourselves for 2 years.
And we put any money we made into the
Any money
station.
just kept on getting dumped in the cook station. So like, if a cooktop was on the floor and it got damaged, well, that came into my house.
Once
The
it-
dishwasher we must have rebuilt 3 times.
And we were in a house that was, this house was built in 49. So, I mean, every spot was like this. And if you tried to, it was the knotty pine all in here. But you know what? I just forgot. I didn't even notice it. Anna would tell me quite a few times, Mom, we got to do something.
Yeah.
But you just got to the point.
And yeah,
I loved my
there was some
house. It
bad
didn't
years.
matter.
There was some bad years. I mean,
Ooh.
2008, all of a sudden you're not paying yourself, and the bottom fell out. Me and Kelly were like,
Yeah.
as long as the roof doesn't leak.
Yeah.
And then when the roof started leaking, I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
you
we
sell
had
pots.
Exactly.
And you just put a pot in it.
The whole season was coming in.
Yeah.
But we had great neighbors, and it would be so funny because other new neighbors would move in. They would say, "Oh, we would like to go see the Colacioppo's house," and they'd go, "You need to go to the cook station."
I don't know how many times we would
Oh.
I'm not going to say lie, but we would tell the fantasy to the customers. They were like, well, what appliances do you have? I'm like, oh, the stuff I have.
Yeah.
They really saw the stuff I
The
had.
cook station.
Yeah. I would tell everyone, I got 15 kitchens and they're all here at the store.
Yeah.
At home, we don't have nothing.
I will tell you, in this last year, and thank goodness the appliance people have been very good. So we have really we saved and saved and saved, and now we've got, and my son lives out back, and I've got to try induction. Now I've got the gas. I've got a gas, what's that thing, John? The steamer oven.
Steamer.
That's the steamer.
My favorite thing is we had an architect. It was Marcolunas Architecture. They were good friends of ours, and we do a lot of business with them. And they kind of came in and kind of set Kelly and I straight because we, shoestringed our whole life. And finally, she just looked at Kelly and me and said, "Listen, just buy what you need." We always
Well, it was
felt
funny
guilty
'cause
for a little
the
while.
Sub-Zero rep. And
Oh, yeah, the
it's so
Sub-Zero
funny 'cause
guy
I'd been saving this one that had been up on the platform at the cook station for 15 years. I was like, when we moved, I said, keep that, put it in that, just keep that. Now, refrigerators really shouldn't stay that. I mean, Sub-Zeros will last 21 years, but to replug them back up and do it, it needs to be in our kitchen, there. And finally, Sub-Zero goes, don't.
Yeah, the Sub-Zero rep looked at me. I said, "Well, we already got a refrigerator." He goes, "That thing's 16 years old. I'm not putting that in your house." I was like, "What the heck?"
It's beautiful now.
That the
Josh
builder
goes.
was really good.
Yeah.
It's shout out to Resort Custom Homes because they're the other ones who, as we started fixing this stuff, they were like, well, we need to save a little. There's no saving anybody. We got to rip the whole
When
floor
everything,
out.
this
We
place
got to rip the whole
is
floor
completely
out, John.
organized.
It's just no.
The bones were gone. You had to fix it.
Oh my God! It was so hard because Kelly is cheap.
I
I guess every good business.
Don't you say it.
I guess every good business owner is cheap, but Kelly wants to squeeze the just choke Lincoln on that penny. Is he on a penny? Who's on a penny? We don't have pennies.
We
anymore.
don't have pennies.
They're
On the
still
nickel.
floating around.
They're still floating around.
So what is the one appliance? I know that you can't pick one, but truly, what is the one you couldn't live without, or what do you use the most in this house?
Okay, first I use my Jura coffee maker.
I was about to, I knew it was going to be the
I'm
Jura.
gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Same way.
And because that's just an everyday thing and is by far my favorite thing. And then next is the dishwashers. Like I love Mila because I've always had one. So, and we do have 2 dishwashers in here. I feel embarrassed, but we have 2 dishwashers because everybody was giving us stuff to try. And then there's a new one, Co, but they both wash unbelievable. So I love that. Y'all are going to laugh. I always wanted a chimney style hood, but everybody was, and our house would stink anytime we cooked. So to get a hood,
Just a hood.
Yeah. Like now I can cook stuff that does not smell up because I cannot stand to be in the back bedroom and I can't sleep because I'm smelling something. So that, and then,
Well, can we tell everyone the biggest secret of the cook station?
what? Don't you say that. That's not, don't you say that. I mean,
What
I'm
is it?
not
I want to
gonna
know.
say- I'm not going to say I'm the best cook and that's it.
Oh, that is the biggest secret.
So Kelly is not a chef herself.
No.
That's why we have Vinny.
That's why we have
That's why they keep me around.
Yeah.
I told my mom one time, but she was always holding over my head. All my favorite Italian food growing up. She would hold, like every good Italian lady. She won't tell you the secrets. I told her one time, I'm like, Mom, I'm ready to go for you to go off to the next chapter in your life. I got a Vinny, so I don't need to. You
When I
can't
met
threaten
my mom, I was scared.
You can't threaten me with cutlets anymore.
Well, John cooks better than me. And I mean, you've come up with some amazing things in that oven.
That's because I read the book.
Yeah, that's what, you've come up with amazing.
But you laid out all this stuff, like the idea
Yes.
of having all the things we could have. You wanted
I did not want, I
wall
love the way
ovens.
a pro oven looks, but I don't want to bend down low. So yeah, I knew what I wanted.
Yeah,
You just had to show me what was new and different.
yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the actual store. Let's take us back there. The shopping experience at the cook station. People say it's hard to describe. One person says, I can't explain it. You just have to go there. How would you explain the cook station shopping experience?
Okay. I know. It's either you're going to love it or you're going to say, wow, it's a lot. But the goal is I can be that one place that you can find 90% of the things you're going to want. But my goal is the only way to explain it is like they said, you got to come in and see it. It's probably closer to maybe like the old fashioned hardware store, but it's for it. We want to inspire and delight. When you leave there, I want you to say, you're not going to believe what I just found in that place. I mean, that anybody that comes in can buy something. Now we might have it piled up to the ceiling and you might have to look for it. But I also want to make sure that we have the best, but that we also have something that anybody can afford. Because that's what I want to be for that average cook and then the cook that is unbelievable that wants the best. And I think we've done a good job at choosing those. Now, do
We have anything from Lodge. I mean, Lodge $30 cast iron to, what's probably our most expensive?
Heston.
Heston, Smithy, Le
Smithy's.
Creuset. We've got some really high end things too.
You still got an egg timer, like an old timey egg. That's the thing that I always kind of love is the fact that there's still a $4 egg timer in there.
We've got unbelievable servingware. We've got bone china dishes, and then we've got the everyday dish that anybody can do. I mean, but you do that with appliances and nobody knows. I mean, that's been a hard thing to get by.
Yeah.
You can come buy a plain oven from you, or you can buy a very
Well, it's funny because that's like what your
That's
dad. Yeah, it's what your dad did. Because like right now, we got a job in Newberry that's just student housing. It's just $3,000 worth of stuff, and it just goes. We do a lot of that.
Well, and the one thing too, I mean, my goal is to make sure, and it's not going to happen every time. I know good and well there's going to be days half the staff called in sick. We're doing all that, and we can't get to everybody. But that's the mailman. So
Downtown Greenville, still have a mailman walk.
Yes, we still have. But but the goal is that you can get to somebody that can try to help you. If they don't know, they're supposed to be able to come get us. Do we make mistakes every day? But the goal is at least you get a smile. That when you come in the door, with the exception of that one day that all hell breaks loose, and those two have happened, and we have made mistakes, but hopefully within you can at least just walk around and have fun. I got in trouble today because Kyle goes, you don't have too many dish towels, but, and we do, but hopefully there'll be one for everybody.
I like what you said about like the hardware store because it does remind me of that. Like somebody will come in and they're like, "Do you have this?" I'm like, "Well, what is it?" then they'll describe it to me. I'm like, oh, let's go looking.
Yeah.
Just start huffing around in the store and just start looking at stuff, and it's kind of neat. And
But then you can also go have a glass of wine, or I really do feel like I don't know how many places you can go and you can see homemade soups being made. I mean, that's kind of unusual, and I don't know that every customer realizes that that's done every day.
the breads.
And then you can go upstairs, and even during the day, you two have done a hell of a job. There's classes going on. I mean, there's 3 classes going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, Friday
And something on the patio.
and something on the patio. The patio's a great
Crazy.
spot.
I stole a line from my friend. He has the Irish pub downtown, and someone was like, "Oh, you decorated this place so beautiful. How'd you come up with the idea?" And his answer was, neglect.
Yeah.
And he goes, just years of neglect. And it's so funny. Like, someone comes to the store, they're like, "How did you figure this out?" I'm like, "Well, we just keep on
Keep stuffing.
just stuffing stuff in there, and it'll work eventually." It's just kind of that way.
I know, because we're never going to be that place where it's laid out gorgeous. We're just.
I love it when you finally meet a guy that gets mad at that. Like, they want to walk in and they want a sign that says bakeware, and underneath there
Listen,
all the
they don't-
bakeware and all that. I'm like, dude, you just gotta have to walk around.
Yeah.
If you don't like it.
Or, we may not be that place for them.
Yeah.
We know the place that is.
The OCD guy.
I'm
who's
hoping
upset.
that they like our place. That's not exactly what we're going for.
Well, we've gone through the beginning, the middle, and now we're, at our current day. But
We're closing.
no, what is really
Out of a job.
your biggest dream now for the cook station in the future, moving forward?
It is growth. I mean, I want everybody to be able to stay with me, make a good career out of that. So it's how do you get to that next step where money's not going out quicker than it's coming in, but that just takes a long time, especially when you have to carry as much inventory as we have. But my goal is in the next few years, us to be online. So hopefully we can, make it easier for everybody. I know that is the one thing that everybody has complained, like, why can't I go online when they leave and go back to Georgia, or they go back, they can't have it sent. And that's a goal. It's going to take us a little while, but that's a goal. But it's just being able to keep everybody and keep growing. See what else is next. I mean, I don't know. We may take that top off that building.
Double the education kitchen.
Yes, I would
bigger.
love to see that get bigger. I would. I'd love
That,
to see
if I had to say, the one miss we had in going over here is the idea of that education kitchen. We knew it. We knew we've been doing cooking classes for 20-something years.
In a
We
funny
knew
way.
there was a thing that could be there, but I didn't really understand. And we went to other cooking class studios.
We had to build something quick because we had to get out.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, and Steve had said, let's talk about a third floor. But we were so scared at the time, we had to move on, and that was probably the biggest miss. But I still don't know how we could have made it work
Now,
with the time restraints that we had.
and just the dedication of square footage, that cooking kitchen. But it's funny how that's become this identify, that we were identified by that cooking kitchen. And there were other people who tried to do it too that didn't. It just,
But I think it's everything. You
Yeah.
always say it right. You need everything. in
you need
there.
everything for it to work.
Well,
The
everything,
pots,
yeah,
the pans.
everything feeds off each other in the business now. It's all hosting. The feel of community is what we boil it down to. But you don't have to be a cook to go there. You can enjoy eating the food, or you can enjoy just hosting. But that the education plays off of the kitchen, which plays off of the appliances, which plays off of the gadgets. Like, they all tie in some way.
Well, and how many, and Vinny's sitting here, so that people he's met that become like family to him. I mean, they know him,
Yeah.
Come to all the dinners.
And one of the neatest things that happened, the Irish dinner.
Yeah.
And John and I were there. It was supposed to be downstairs, and the weather went
It's
crazy.
freezing.
And so we had to move. There was
Made it
30
work.
of us. So
Yeah.
it made it work. But you know what was the neatest thing to me? It made my whole everything. When everybody said, and we've got some great customers that come to all of them, and they love the fact that we
The community
the
table.
Yeah.
community table, to the point when Emmie goes, let's do a community table meal and try it and just say, this is what it's going to be about, And I thought, I would have never thought that would have played off like that. That was, yeah. So that was fun. That was
That was a good
great.
one.
All right. Well, at the end of every interview, we do a rapid fire.
Oh, dear Lord. my brain.
Yeah,
get ready.
Like that.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't remember
I haven't
names.
even read these, so.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do the rapid fire, Kelly.
Okay.
First word that comes to the top of your mind. I'm just kidding. It can be more than one word, but. All right. What is the greatest compliment you've ever received?
I don't know, but let me think. I think it's just, honestly, I do think it's just how that we're always nice to everybody. And, to me, that's the most important thing. I could care less about other things. As long as you're grace, have a lot of grace and you talk to people, that to me is when people comment
And
on
people
that.
always comment you on that kind of
Your
stuff.
customer service.
Yeah.
How sweet Kelly. Oh, if I hear one more time. Oh, you're a sweet wife, Kelly. Oh,
Yeah, that's
It hasn't rubbed off on
Suck
you
it up,
still.
Joe.
I know. I'm like, she's nice.
All right. Weirdest habit or obsession?
you must be thinking of one. What is it? I know you're going to say chocolate. That's
Sweets or mugs.
Sweets, yeah. Sweets
He loves mugs.
Oh, you brought that to my attention very well. I have a mug obsession. So I get in more trouble when everything starts coming in from market. They're like, Kelly, you do this. But I love a mug. I wish I could have a different one each day.
When we were in college, we would have these friend night dinners, and we would go to local restaurants, and it was always funny. You'd sit next to Kelly, and as soon as she sat down, she would go,
Oh,
the
that,
mug.
that was
Look at the mug.
restaurant
She would look where the mug came from. She would hold
I
you.
do
You
that
could see,
too.
you could see her. She
I mean,
holds
I'm
the
like,
weight.
oh, are these for Tessa?
Yeah,
What
I do
is
the same
this?
thing now, too.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun? Look,
Yeah.
I had to have a mug here. This is important stuff. That's something. They feel good.
What are you currently binge watching? Or what's your current show on TV?
Oh, we just finished Madison. Is that what's got great? I love a good love story, and that was deep and love and said the right things. I think everybody should watch that.
Madison. I'll have to put it on the list. What's one thing you wish they'd bring back?
Wow.
She is an old soul.
I am
If
an
Kelly
old soul.
Kelly should have been born 1950.
Because my favorite show is
Yeah.
The Waltons.
Yeah.
Let me just
Kelly
say
should have
that.
been born.
So I'm
she's-
glad they brought back the Waltons.
So if you
Little
want
House
to
on the Prairie.
what she should bring back is anything.
I mean, I would still like 3 channels to be on the TV.
Less
So-
options is better
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes. So I don't know that there's one solid thing. And,
Oh my God!
and I love eating dinner together and I love all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I'd like to.
What's your favorite song to dance to in high school?
Oh my gosh. My problem is I can't remember all that. And I'll just throw something out. Reagan's mom's been my best friend since I was young. If she was here, she was like, she can't dance. That's why she can't remember a song. So I'm just going to put that out there because that would be the first thing she would say. So I'm not going to even go there. That's like,
What's your go-to flavoring? Like a spice, a herb, a mix? Do you have a favorite?
no shit. That's something.
Mine's good shit.
Is yours good
Yeah.
shit? I've gotten hooked on no shit because
Just in case they don't know, she's
and the
not.
good shit and all.
She's not cursing.
And this is true. It goes in. It doesn't matter what I'm.
Yeah, we
well,
have it
that's
all
a
over the
bull.
place.
That's a bull. I got bull, no good, and this was not
Got the whole
to get
collection here.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
no shit.
the no shit. Just all of a sudden I take it out and it goes. So I think everything I cook probably
What's
tastes
this one?
exactly the same.
Do the same.
And for $12.99,
Yes,
you too can be a chef.
Yes.
That was the craziest thing. They came in and
That will
said,
last 3 months.
"Oh, it said they wouldn't even give us a sample. They said it will sell." So we started selling it. It sold like crazy. But my crazy thing is that everybody comes back for these. Everybody's got their favorite.
Well, I bought them as gag gifts for Christmas for my family, thinking it would be funny. And the next time I saw everyone, they were like, "Hey, can you bring me back some more of that shit?" Next time you got it. So it was.
Here. Okay, where is it? Okay, Vinny, read the company that makes it too. You talking about
Like
the best?
I can read without my glasses.
Oh,
it
Help
just says mission accomplished. That's all I can
Look,
read.
right here.
Wow.
That's the name.
Oh yes. The big cock ranch.
Yes, I mean they nailed it from the whole thing, but they come out with some of the best seasons.
Oh, you put a good label on something that sells. But it is good stuff though. I do like it.
All right. What's your least favorite flavor?
Flavor. I like all foods. As long as I don't really have a least favorite, as long as it's sweet, I like them all.
Okay.
Don't give me if it had beets or something in it, I'm not eating it. But if it's got anything sugar that has to relate to it, vanilla, any of those, I love.
All right. What have you enjoyed doing once but choose to never do again?
Marry.
No.
Marry.
I'm surprised you're still here. But
I did it once. It's really overrated. Don't think I want to do that again.
No. I don't really know that I mean,
You would get married again?
John, stop it. Stop it. Like the days of doing roller coaster rides, stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
But it was fun while you did
I
it.
did it for the kids, and because I didn't do it before kids, and then I did it them, and then
You had to put on a brave.
Yeah.
You had to put on a brave face for that kid.
ooh, so I choose to never do that again.
Other than being in the business you are in now, which I don't even know, what business are we in?
I know.
I'm just kidding. What profession would you
This
do?
is a great question.
I would be a meteorologist, weather girl.
She loves the
Hands down.
weather.
Yes.
Hands down.
That is too fun.
So
She's the
it's our
weather girl.
anniversary.
I am.
It's like our 20th anniversary, and I go and I buy this really expensive kind of like home meteorology. And my daughter said, "That's what you're getting." For your anniversary." Like, you don't understand. This is going to be the best. And my daughter Anna says, "Yeah, remember when you bought her a thermometer for your anniversary?" Like, you don't understand. That is her gig.
Just ask me each day. I'll tell you exactly what's going to go on. So
next time you're in Fox Carolina, you should ask, can I just do the weather?
Can I? Yeah.
I did it all the
Just
time when
do
I was
it.
there. But
I think at the cook station we need a green screen.
Yes.
I think we need to get
So
Greg
we
to
can
get us
go
a
over
green
weather.
screen.
All right, we already kind of went over this, but your food weakness.
Oh.
Sweets, chocolate.
Sweets,
Peppermint patty.
chocolate's the thing. I'll never forget when Reagan went full time with us, and after we went through Christmas, because y'all know how Christmas is. Even this year, there's another story on this. So the first year after Christmas, Reagan had a cavity. She had gained 10 pounds. She went home and she was all upset. She told her mom, she goes, "You didn't try to eat what Kelly did you?" She's like, her stomach, like, she's done this since she was like, I said, nobody can do it.
Yeah,
Nobody
first
can
Christmas
do
I
it.
came away with a cavity.
Yeah, that's it. And
You're
then
just eating chocolates and cookies, just whatever you could on the fly.
And then Reagan left us this Christmas. Do you see me? Everybody, she left
Because
us
of
to
a
have a
baby.
baby. So, and it was me and Emmie doing that out there. And by the end, Emmie looked and we were eating hot dogs from Carolina or we were eating chocolate. She looked at me and said, "We're going to die." That's what I'm getting
She's
so
got that drawer on her desk in the office. You open it, it's all chocolate in there. I know, because I go in there once in a while.
And you're just telling me this now.
Sorry, Chad.
All right, what's your favorite kitchen tool?
Oh,
I know what it is. Let me
Okay.
see if I'm.
Yeah.
we're in my.
Let
me see if I'm
searching.
No, this drawer. There's two. There's two.
All right.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
No.
Is that
I
what she
do
hits
like
you with
that.
at
That's
night?
not it. You don't know.
This is your
Yeah, I do
favorite.
like that.
The chopper.
Down one. That's junk.
Is that what you use when you have to have the safe word?
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah. This is because me and Kelly don't have.
Stop it. No.
We have no knife skills.
Sorry.
We have absolutely no
Y'all,
knife
guys.
skills.
This has been my favorite thing for years. Look at this. So you can take an onion and you chop
We
it.
have
Weren't
absolutely.
you trying to sell these outside during spring fling one time?
And we have like 30.
John was outside doing the infomercial.
Yeah, this
It's
is
hot. It's ices.
We have the most expensive knife kit. In fact, I'm going to get you something to cut. You got to show them. I'm going to find you something to cut.
But anyway, huh?
Yeah,
Look, obviously, I used it last night.
No, you
Put it in
love
the
that thing. You
Oh.
love that thing. We have to have that on the floor at all times.
Oh.
Like if that's not something available.
Well, and
so-
they've just redone it, and it's a hair bigger. It's supposed to be a lot better.
All right.
And it's less money. I was shocked on that one.
Well, you got to show them your
I gotta
finger
show
too.
what
That's
I
how you know that we have no knife skills. Because
At least the knives are sharp.
yeah,
That's
the
the
finger's
important
all
thing.
cut up.
Yeah, I was trying to grade these. I took off the thing.
All right.
But this is the other. And y'all know I have
Yes.
two favorite things. This is by Tavola.
that a
Use it
boomerang?
as a
Okay.
scraper. I love that. Or just use it to stir and it gets in all the corners. And then this is like a tasting spoon or a spoon to get. I mean, they have them in two different sizes. I love this. So you're digging out of there.
You got to show them how to do your thing. This is Kelly's favorite. We have no knife skills. Show them, Kel.
I'm going to show. See? Oh, that's not good enough. Carrots, he did give the hardest one. Because
Of course.
carrots are.
No, don't be a wuss.
No. It's just carrots. are hard. Look at this thing. It is just like. And
That is a.
look, Greg.
And there, it's done.
It's done.
There you
Or
go.
if
You have a
keep-
vegetarian meal ready in seconds.
Exactly. Or you could keep doing it if you want something. I mean, you can make it mush. But I like the fact, look, that is a perfect cube without having to.
See, Vinny, you don't have to worry about AI taking your job.
Yes.
You got to worry about Xylus coming out with
Okay,
more.
sure.
You got to worry about Xylus
Sleep
coming out
over
with
this.
more things like that.
All right, now my final question. What things do you want your kids to say they learned from you?
Oh, it really is grace. I mean, and grace and hard work. You know, I mean, we got a ways to go with them, but that's not very if they've learned that to be kind to people, that's and to help others. That I know that's kind of cliche, but it really is important.
That's what you built the whole business pretty much on. It really is.
And as y'all know, my mom was like that. You knew her, but you were young. And we got a papa that works at the cook station, and I think he's taught us all that. So if we can all keep doing that, I think that's the most important thing, especially in small family-owned business. Too much is changing quick. Big store, big people
And
coming.
you might say that Greenville has gotten bigger, but it's funny how much it really gets back down to that too. You know what I mean?
It does.
As big as the city gets, it's still kind of cool.
It does. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for joining
Good job,
us
Kelly.
today. It was a fun
Show me your finger.
episode.
Again, no knife skills.
Yeah, no knives. Oh, grading. That was a grader. And
Well,
that
if you
was,
have a knife skills class, you got to take.
yes, I did.
All right, guys. And remember, we will have the opportunity for anyone watching. If you have a specific question for one of our chefs or anyone at the cook station, you can email us and we will make sure that we get your questions read. So our email address is askachef@thecookstation.com. And I'm sure Greg will put that email address up on the screen for you too. But thank y'all for joining us.
John and I won't answer those.
Unless you want to know how much the Xylus cost. The chopper.
Special today.
Yeah.